Oh, yeah, we didn't even dude, we didn't even talk about that.
It's going so well so far.
That's awesome. LTT Store has had 3 sponsored creator videos go up this week, including 2 long-form videos and 1 short. Luke, have you seen any of them?
None.
You have seen none. Perfect. So all of our influencer marketing is going up in reverse alphabetical order. So it's going to start with Zach Builds and Zach's Tech Turf. And then we skip all the way to M.
Wait,
go ahead.
Did we do that on purpose?
No.
Why would
Not
we
even
do
a
that?
little bit. No, 100% no. No, our third one is Macho Nacho Productions, and I'm pretty sure we would have been able to find at least 1 or 2 tech YouTubers who are, between Z and M. Anyway, check this out. This is such a cool video, has already got nearly 500,000 views from Zach Builds. Obviously, I'm going to want you guys to go check out the entire video and not just the LTT product placement in it. But watch this. Hold on. Wait for it. That was annoying. I can't believe it didn't work from the factory. Blah, blah, blah. Ready to keep pushing forward. Don't worry. Something interesting is going to happen soon. Let me segue to our sponsor. LTTstore.com, let's go!
Let's go.
I gotta tell you, I did send a rather terse email to the business team when I saw this spot go live. And the reason for that is that while Zach actually did an amazing job, by the way, this is incredible, of showing off the screwdriver, showing off everything that's good about it, the strength of the magnet, the completeness of the kit. He did just an outstanding job talking about the quality. It's really well shot. The one thing that he didn't do is use our screwdriver for the project. Fortunately, the good news here is that in spite of any perceived beef that may exist on their side, I have nothing against iFixit. A huge advocate for their for their mission and all of that. Anyway, we didn't get to him in time, and he did say in the sponsor spot that if the screwdriver had gotten to him in time to do the project, because it arrived after he'd done it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, that's rough. All right.
Yeah, if it had gotten there in time to do the project, he would have preferred to use it. He did say he really liked it. So that's really good to hear. Anyway, I got a real kick out of that, and I was like, yo guys, look, like it's fine, but like really? And they were like, no, that's how it went down. Anyway, so we also had a video go up with Zach's Tech Turf. This one I haven't actually watched yet. This one's a short. Oh, wait. I didn't even know who it was, but I know the guy's face. I'm so sorry. Other Zach. Yeah, my bad. Anyway, tools PC builders actually need a knife. All right. Fair enough. Cutters. Yep. Fair enough. Most importantly, screwdriver. Let's go. Freaking awesome. So that's our second one that went live. Oh, look at this. He's got a whole bunch of them. Okay, that's pretty cool. So that's the second one that went live. And then also Macho Nacho Productions. This is a really cool video. You guys are going to want to check this one out as well. Nintendo never gave us a Switch Pro, so Modders did. Also, just a really nice spot for the precision screwdriver. And yes, guys, I can see you in the comments. I hear you in the comments shrieking about us uploading a promotional video with influencer marketing for a product you literally can't buy right now because it's out of stock. Trust me, I don't like it any more than you do, but hey, look, okay, we're new to this, okay?
You can sign up for some newsletter about when it's going to be back in stock or something, and I don't know, Nick said it was going to be December-ish maybe when they have more information.
So we'll get it back.
That's such a classic, like, us problem.
I know.
Like that's the exact type of thing that we would screw up. That's very on brand.
Yeah, so there's this great project. It's hype as F, and like you're gonna love it, and like, yeah, I don't know what.
No.
Oh, yeah, too bad. Maybe it's our strat. Maybe just nobody consulted me, and that's our strat.
You're going for the luxury product strat,
Yeah, it's the new Birkin bag. It's the LTT precision screwdriver.
I got to make an appointment for it, but you're not allowed to make appointments.
Yeah, put it in your loved one's stocking next year. Hope that they don't need to screw anything together between now and then. Anyway, you guys are going to want to check this video out as well. Super cool. And yeah, I don't know what to say about this other than that. Go check out those videos. Massive shout out to them for working with us on this. I mean, obviously they didn't, nothing in life is free. We believe in paying people for their work. So these are paid sponsorships, as you guys would expect from us. And you can expect to see a lot more. We have a couple discussion questions. The first one is, does it feel weird to go full circle from sponsored to sponsor? And I gotta say, I feel like this is hardly full circle so much as it's that I am going in circles, right? Because I started out as just like a paid mouthpiece to make product videos for rich video merchandising on product pages, and then made my way into like independent sort of opinion / tutorials and guides and reviews, while also maintaining the other thing in parallel. And then started doing sponsorships also in parallel to then creating products and like sponsoring myself, to sponsoring others, to splitting off the lab to be its own like independent media review thing, to like, I don't know, I got a lot going on. I got a lot going on over here. But yeah, no, it feels kind of cool. It's not the same feeling as seeing the product get reviewed, like independently reviewed. But I would say it's honestly kind of more fun in like a different way, if that makes sense. Like it's more surreal, right? Like it feels like an out of body experience a little bit. If that kind of makes sense.
Something that's been, I mean, it's I've always had this reaction where like if I'm watching a YouTube video and then I notice someone's wearing like one of our shirts or like one of our sweaters or something, it's always like, oh, whoa, like it's jarring in a good way, if that makes sense. Like it kind of, I don't know, you have to take a second and kind of absorb it. But now it's happening where shirts, as much as I do like our shirts, I didn't even really think about it. I'm wearing one of them right now. They feel more on the merch side of things when someone's using one of the tools and they don't talk about it and they're not making like it feels like it wasn't a conscious decision. It was just like, no, this is just the best thing that I have for this. Then it's almost a different form of reaction. I don't know. It's kind of
and like one thing that's really different about the sponsorship thing for me is that I've talked a lot about how I have a very kind of limited schedule and I don't have enough time to fill it with a ton of YouTube. I don't watch a ton of YouTube. I don't really sample my own products, so to speak. But I have felt compelled to watch these videos from the creators that we sponsor because, and like, look, I would never, because I've been on the other side of it, I would never like give myself credit for their hard work, but I do feel like we supported it, right? Like I feel like we helped enable them to do what they do, and it's a really different feeling. It shouldn't be. I mean, we enable people to do their creative work all day. Every time Riley uploads Tech Linked, Linus Media Group Incorporated has enabled something. That's what we literally do for a living. But it feels a little different when it's these smaller creators, or in some cases, I mean, we've even sponsored creators that are arguably our size or bigger, depending on the measure, right? But
right,
I don't know. It feels it's vibes. It's good vibes.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, especially when, it's AdSense on tech content isn't that amazing. So at the end of the day, a lot of what keeps the wheel going around is this kind of sponsored content. So it's fun helping keep the wheel going around for other people as well.
And what's cool about that is that one of the things that we've made a conscious effort to do over the last 5 years or so, maybe longer than that actually, over the years, is to diversify our sponsorships and make ourselves less dependent on the brands that we cover. And that's a tough thing to do because especially when you're first starting out, the advertisers target whoever is the audiences that most overlap with the people who will buy their products, which for reviewers, obviously you're going to target the reviewers who are making videos that viewers are watching that are reviews of their products, right? So you're going to have this inherent kind of conflict, and you can manage that. You can mitigate that. You can have good agreements. You can have strong moral fiber, good character, and you can keep your editorial and your sponsored talking points separate. But it's always going to be there. It's always going to be there. And it's always going to mean that you're going to be dependent. There's a hand that feeds you, and it's at least going to occur to you whether or not you should bite it. And you might be an absolute wild man like me and go out of your way to bite it just for lols. Like, I mean, the Framework Secret Shopper one, I'd say, is probably the best recent example of that. We didn't have to do that. Nirav has not even emailed me about it. He has not so much as acknowledged that video to me, which I think is really funny.
What about when it's your own hand? What about when you reviewed LTT Store?
Yeah, I don't know. We're idiots, honestly. Like we're kind of crazy. And you know what? There's a lot of integrity, like in the tech YouTube space. There's a lot of people that I think would do the same thing if they had the privilege. But this is something that they are not dependent on. They don't depend on me for anything. If anything, I'm like a competitor or whatever, right? Not that I really see it that way, but I'm more, if they make me mad or whatever, like what? Drama builds audiences. Drama gets views. I mean, there's certainly plenty of examples of that in the tech space, right? So it's one of those things where like they have absolutely nothing to lose by like burning a sponsor relationship with me or whatever, right? And it makes them less dependent on tech sponsors that actually exist within the vertical that they cover. So that's something that's really cool to me. I think that's probably, if I had to nail it down, I think that's the coolest thing, is that we are enabling the same diversification that we have sought to achieve for ourselves. And that's a really healthy thing for the space, to have sponsors that you don't cover as well. That's the ideal. Anyway, sorry, sure. But what are we supposed to be talking about? Yeah, so this is cool. Oh, our other discussion question. Actually, maybe you can speak to this because I think you're doing a paid gig thing right now. Like that's what you're in France for, right? So the discussion question is, can you talk about brand creator relationships and how sponsorships even work? Does the brand reach out? Does the creator reach out? How does it work?
I mean, it can work in both ways in regards to reaching out. I think generally how we do it is you have the business team might kill me here because I might say something wrong. So I don't know. Don't take this at my word, but you have some partners that you've been working with for a long time, and it's more like you talk to them near the beginning of the year, near the beginning of the quarter, whatever, and you try to figure out like, okay, what is our approach going to be this time? Like how can we best work together this time? There's some amount of assumption that you're going to work together. There's some like cold calling where you're reaching out to people, seeing if you can work with them. And then there's cold calling in our direction where people are reaching out to us, seeing if they can work with us. In this particular case, I don't necessarily know what happened. I think being a review company, having relationships with companies that make products has always been kind of interesting. Like what I'm in France for is OVH. OVH we use as a company and have been using as a company for like genuinely years. Close to a decade.
I think a decade.
Because of the forum.
I think so. Yeah. Wow, that's cool. 10 years of partnership. Let's go.
Yeah, we've also used almost every one of their products, which is like kind of crazy. Like we even at one point in time we used one of their products, which is called So You Start, which is like basically semi-recycled, like very old discount servers. Because that's, I mean, at one point in time that made sense for us, right? So like that one's pretty easy because like when I'm here hosting with them, it's I just get to talk about like, I don't know, the reason why I've been using them for basically a decade, which makes it pretty simple. There has been times where, I'll be pretty friendly with representatives from a certain company, and then we do a review, and then suddenly, I was still down to be friendly. And then it becomes not very friendly anymore. But that's just part of the playing field, right? Like you can't you can't let whatever you have going on affect a review. It doesn't matter. Like it's completely irrelevant at that point. The second you're reviewing something, you have to be completely impartial. So I've lost people that I was friendly with, but it's part of the game. And there's also been people, like you just mentioned, the framework thing, right? Like some people get it.
Yep.
And they're just like, okay, well, I'll take from this what I can, and we keep moving forward, right? It doesn't matter.
And
but
then there's
people take it
Astro,
super personally,
who never spoke to me again after this review.
Yeah, it's part of the game. It is what it is. I don't know.
Yep. But you got to be, you got to be willing to just kind of move forward. Like I think, as much as I dog on them, which is part of the point of what I'm about to say, NVIDIA has grown up a lot over the last little bit. We dog on them. We talk about the things that they do that we don't like. We tease their leather jacket, kitchen enjoying CEO. We talk about the negative aspects. I think I've made it very clear. I think they're an extremely difficult company to work with. I think they've got an arrogance about them, a chip on their shoulder that makes its way straight from the top. But I think we also acknowledge the good that they do. We acknowledge the extremely strong track record they have for product support, for example. NVIDIA's software support for their aging and legacy products stands out in an industry where many companies will just arbitrarily drop support for things, even that are quite new. When they commit to something, they follow through on it. Even when it's obviously failing, look at how long they stuck by 3D vision in spite of the fact that it was clearly dead. But that ecosystem they'd built, they supported it for a long time. So we talk about the things they do bad. We talk about the things that they do well. And after a couple of years, and someone who did take things personally, ultimately leaving the company under some circumstances that I genuinely don't know what they were, but they're not there anymore. They have come back to the table. I think we're probably going to be working with them this coming year. We've done some stuff with them in 2024. And that's good. Like that's a healthy thing for them to be able to be criticized on the one hand, editorially, and be able to work with us to, in a sponsored or advertiser capacity to get their side of the messaging out if that's what they want. You got to have both of those things. And if you want to reach our audience, you're just going to have to accept that that's how it works. Colton today, I think this might end up in a behind the scenes that Sammy was shooting. Colton today brought up the time he had to get on a call with Intel right after I did that intro with like me as like a hostage. Like a terrorist hostage?
Yeah.
Do you remember this?
No. I'm acknowledging it, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, here it is. So we did this bit where I pretended that here we go. That Intel was holding me at gunpoint and I had to read a statement saying that their stuff was really good or whatever. He had to get on a call with them like the day after that went live to smooth it over. Oh man. I can't believe the kind of stuff we've done over the years. Like this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. It's also really funny to me that that anyone even remotely acknowledges people who are like, yeah, Linus would never say anything negative about a sponsor or whatever. Like, dude.
I was explaining the concept of I don't have a swear button, so I'm gonna manually bleep it. But I was explaining the concept of stuff manufacturers say the other day to somebody. And they're like, wait, you guys actually did this? And I like showed them a few of the videos. They're like, what?
Oh yeah, dude. I think Cooler Master works with us again, so I guess I can say this. But Cooler Master didn't talk to us for I think a solid 2 or 3 years after that one on their supposedly mechanical keyboard one from the ship manufacturers say series.
I remember that.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't know, man, but I don't know. It is what it is. It doesn't matter. You gotta be. The thing is, look. If you do your job well enough, and I'm talking to my fellow content creators right now, okay? If you do the job well enough, it's not going to matter who likes you or who doesn't like you, because at the end of the day, people come, they go in this industry, they move around jobs, they move around positions. If you're good enough, you'll still be there. Doesn't matter. There's always another chance to restart the relationship. That doesn't mean that you should be malicious. You should never be malicious. Never do anything out of malice. That's not healthy either. But you've got to speak your mind. You've got to be honest. You've got to bring the best knowledge that you have to your audience. And as long as you do that, the audience is going to be there for it. And as long as the audience is going to be there for it, the brands will always come crawling back. Every
and I think an important part of this equation
except Apple
is. Well, they were never there in the first place.
No.
I think an important part of this equation is that we need to come back to basically, if someone scorns us, but then there's a change in the future that we need to do it as well, which we do.
Or if we screwed something up. If we screwed something up, then we should do what it takes to heal the relationship as well.
Yeah, totally, for sure.
G-Brand is most healthy sponsor relationship. Yeah, I don't know about that, but definitely it works. It works in its own toxic way.